Hello, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time stopping by. Today we're going to be doing the next video in my deck collection series for 2025, including any potential decluttering decisions I may be making. Now, the decluttering is a little bit interesting because if I find anything I'm not sure I want to keep, it will go into a chopping block category. And we'll cover those at the end of the collection series. So who knows when we'll get there. But when we get there, I'll be reviewing any decks that I decided to put on the chopping block to see if I've changed my mind, if any of those I do want to keep, or if I found a new way to work with them or something like that. So stay tuned. This category is my gaming decks. Now, before I get into it, if you're new here, hello, my name is Lisa, and I am a tarot deck creator, an author, a content creator here on YouTube. And if you are interested in any of my work that is currently out in the world, I will throw up a graphic where you can see where you can get any things that are currently available. I've also recently funded my Unicorn's Journey Oracle deck on Kickstarter, and that will be coming to Etsy in the future. Or if there may be an opportunity right now or around this time to late pledge to back it through my pledge manager. So if you want to check that out, I'll have a Kickstarter link down below. If you follow that link, you might have an opportunity to pre-order it there if you are interested. But today we're talking about gaming decks. These are decks that to me fall into a gaming category, not into like a regular category. I have not necessarily figured out a way to use these in my day-to-day life, but each one has sort of a gaming association in some way. So we're going to get into it in no particular order. I don't have any Oracle in this category, actually, I realize, but only tarot. So first off, let's talk about the Neopets official tarot deck. I don't know why I got, I know why I got this, but also I don't know this lore at all. I really don't. But here's the story if you don't know. And if you want to hear the whole thing, go watch a really old video on my YouTube channel from my tarot memoirs series called The Fool. And in that video from my tarot memoirs, I tell the story of Peggy and I getting together and how that whole thing went. But she and I actually officially met initially playing this game, Neopets, on the computer. So when this came out in a tarot, I was like, I need it. But I don't use it. It's really cute though. I just don't know. I don't know. And mine's literally still in order. I've never tried to use it, is the thing. But if you know Neopets and you know Neopets lore, this is super cute. This was a Andrews McMeel deck, actually. I thought it was going to be inside editions, but no, I love the backs. I think they're so cute. But this is something that I've never even tried to use in a reading. I have only just purchased it and put it in an area in my closet where I keep decks that I got just to collect. But at the end of the day, as adorable as this is, and as much as there's like a nostalgia piece to it, I don't think I know the lore well enough to get much out of working with it, if I'm being completely honest. I did, around the time that I got this deck, I tried to start playing Neopets again, and I went on this whole like thing. I tried to solve this big mystery. It was a lot of work, I gotta tell you. But like, this game has certainly not aged well, in my opinion. It's still just like basically JavaScript on a website, and it's clunky. But I had Neopets for years, and I fed and got them their own little pets, and I dyed them, and I did all kinds of things, but I just don't think I have the attention span for it anymore. But this was very much a nostalgia purchase for me. And again, if I knew the lore better, and there's so much lore, look at this freaking book. There's so much lore in Neopets, but I just never really went down the lore rabbit hole. I just don't think I have the attention span for it because there's so much. And in the years since I was originally playing, so much more lore got added. But I think I'm probably going to put this one on the chopping block, honestly, because it was literally just nostalgia. That's it. So yeah, I think that's probably going on the chopping block. Okay, let's look at one that is safe for now and probably will be for a while. This is the Eldritch Overload. So Dawn, Michelle, and I play a game, play Baldur's Gate 3 together. And we have this one sort of recurring game we like to play called Monsters and Mayhem. It's kind of a chaos game. And what the lore or the headcanon we have about these characters is that they're essentially stuck in like a bit of a, what do you call it? Like a Groundhog Day situation where we do a full run with them, and then they like wake up and they have to start all over again. So it's just kind of fun. There are chaos characters. I'm really attached to that character, and my character I play in those runs is called Oblivia. And when I first started playing, she had a different deck. She was using the Zeke's Arcana, and Dawn's character, whose name is Jinx, was using this Eldritch Overload deck. And that's great. But there's a character in here that literally reminds me a lot of Oblivia, like looks very similar to her. And plus it's sparkly. And I found this on sale somewhere. I'm trying to remember where it was on sale at. It was a website, but it was on sale. There's this one. This character looks like Oblivia. She actually has these two colors in her hair a lot of the time. And she's got these big, voluminous pigtails. So I started using this deck because we often pull cards in Monsters and Mayhem. And so I would pull cards from this deck specifically when we would play. I also have a bunch of dice sets that I use with Oblivia. Oblivia has a custom set of dice that were made to her. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. They were made for her by that Barb girl, who is our absolutely infamous and fabulous mod here on the channel. And Barb made a custom set of Oblivia dice and also made Dawn a custom set of Jinx dice, and they're incredible. Handmade resin dice that are just absolutely beautiful, and they're pink and blue and it's everything. Anyway, this deck is totally in Oblivia's colors, and I love all the sparkles, and it kind of makes me happy that Jinx uses the same deck. So this is that deck for me. I have not really ever tried to use it for its own sake. I use this specifically for Oblivia. I could see though, because I'm linking this deck to her, eventually just wanting to pull, if I want to pull some Oblivia energy into something, I can reach for this deck. But it does have some interesting RPG elements to it, so it is legitimately a gaming deck in its own right. And there is a bigger book you can get that like literally tells you how to use it in like a tabletop role-playing game. Look at the beholder. And there are some D&D elements and other things that you'll see poking through this deck, like the backing also has the beholder of a sort, like a cyberpunk beholder. But it is like a cyberpunk kind of world. It's pretty cool. I have to say, though, for me, it's mostly the Oblivia connection that I have. This deck doesn't even live with the rest of my tarot decks. It actually lives next to in the living room where I game, and it lives on a little cart that I keep next to my spot out there. So it's safe, but it's definitely something I use for gaming. Another deck that I use exclusively for that game is this one. This is the Notori Tarot in Light. And this deck represents the character Astarion from Baldur's Gate. For me, it started out, Dawn found this connection, but there's something about this artwork that totally feels like Astarion. And so if I want to pull in Astarion's energy, which again, typically I'll do in that game, like I'll pull a card for him or whatever, this is the deck I use. I don't have any association with this deck otherwise. I've tried, and I just don't. In fact, I think the art's not necessarily my usual style at all. It's all the white, black, and red, and gold, and stuff that just makes it feel very... It feels like Astarion. It's hard to describe. But once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it, and I ended up picking it up for that reason. I was like, I need an Astarion deck. I guess I'll get this one. And so it's great. It's perfect for that. If I were to ever just like not have that connection, this deck probably wouldn't stick around because there's no need for me because it's the only context in which I use it. That one looks the most like him, I think, sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, Astarion is a vampire rogue character in Baldur's Gate, if you don't know who I'm talking about. Baldur's Gate 3 specifically, I should say. Anyway, so these two literally both live out there because they're only used for gaming characters. Another one connected to Baldur's Gate 3 is the Flower Child Tarot. This one will probably work its way into my rotation as like a regular deck because the game that I had gotten this for is now over, but this deck very much represents Dawn Michelle's character in our last roleplay run of Baldur's Gate 3 called Wildflowers. And in that game, Dawn Michelle played the most adorable character whose name was Daphne. And this deck absolutely embodies Daphne. She was like a free spirit. She had a little country twang in her, and she was from, back country and was so wholesome and so sweet and very much a pacifist. And I mean, we got her in the end. We got her to use a few weapons by the end of the game, but mostly she was a pacifist and she was just delightful in every possible way. So this deck represents that Daphne energy. I think that now that that particular run is done and we got our characters from that game happily ever after, I will probably find myself rotating this in. I don't know what its long-term status is going to be in my collection, because there are, like, just looking at it for its own merit, all these frogs are so silly. Looking at it for its own merit, it's like, it's cute, but it's very Rider-Waite-Smith clone, and I don't honestly know if it'll be able to make it in my collection long term, but for as long as it makes me think about Daphne and smile, it's definitely going to stay. So maybe one day that will be something I'm okay with letting go, but for now, I need it. It's so cute. Plus, it pairs really, really well with the Making Magic. I think it's called Making Magic Oracle. I showed that pairing recently in a monthly deck review. But yeah, it's really lovely. all the pastel colors. It's very like 70s. It's super cute. And the guidebook's actually really great for this. And this one is published by Page Street Publishing. The guidebook has all this great spot gloss design work on it. It's just lovely. It's so cute. But yeah, that is the... It's not in order. The Fool just happened to be on top. This is actually a really nice like matte laminated cardstock too. Like this Page Street Publishing did a nice job on this deck. It feels really good. The guidebook or the box is like rose petal finish. Look at the colored page edges. Like they're not colored the way that I would color them, but they are colored. So gotta hand it to them for that. Anyway, such a fun little deck. That's my Daphne deck. Okay, then we have my tabletop role-playing deck. This was so expensive. Oh my God. I mean, I'm really glad I have it and it's been really great. This is the Tabletop Tarot. This is the best, I feel like the best D&D tarot deck. But oh my gosh, this was expensive to begin with. And then I remember getting hit with just a hideous customs fee when it came in. It was so bad. I don't know why at the time. This was quite some time ago. So it was before all the current tariffs nonsense. This deck has so many great D&D characters in it, and there's actually a lot of characters here that are clearly inspired by Critical Role. That character in particular I recognize. The art in this is absolutely beautiful. If you want a game that feels like Dungeons and Dragons, just tabletop games in general, fantasy games in general, this is such a great one. And it would be probably my number one. It's got a top contender actually, but for tarot I would say this is probably be my number one D&D style deck. I think it's so beautiful. The art is absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, tons of great references in here. And I don't know that they're called out specifically as such in the guidebook or anything, but I certainly recognize characters in here from Critical Role, and I think that's awesome. Or at least characters that seem to be inspired by. But like the orcs and like, oh, it's so great. It's so great. And it's really pretty too. I did not think about how, oh, these characters remind me of the twins from Final Fantasy 14. Anyway, oh my gosh, it's so great. Well, I just didn't realize, I'm just going to check something because I'm so super curious actually. I've never tried this, but I'm wondering what this would look like next to Unicorn's Journey Oracle, actually. I'm just looking at the colors and the art and I'm just wondering, it might be terrible, but it might be cute. Oh, I think that would go nice. Oh, I really like these together. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's fun. Okay. Well, that was just a quick little, I just realized looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute, that might be a fun pair, and it certainly is. I still don't know if I'll be able to bring myself to pair my deck with any other deck, but you never know. You never know. Strange things can happen. Anyways, this is a really nice cardstock too. It's got that kind of playing card smooth finish feel to it. Not linen, but oh, it's so nice. It glides. Look at that. Look at that glide. Look at that glide. It's like a casino quality glide, which is what I put on my cards. I love it. I love it. It's great. Super fabulous. So that is the Tabletop Tarot. There is a little guidebook in it. Wow. Did you see? I literally just threw things at myself. Anyways, there's a sticker in here. I love that. I'm going to put that with my other sticker things. This is Brandy York art. brandyyork.com, I believe, is where I bought the deck from. So if you're curious, apparently I had that in here. And then there's this little guidebook with just some basic write-ups. The Paladin and the Mage toast to their friendship and partnership, kindred spirits aligned for a cause. So like, yeah, it's really cute. I'm going to keep her card in there, even though I basically just attacked myself with it. Okay, anyways, that is the Tabletop Tarot. I have also used this in Baldur's Gate 3 runs. This was a deck I tended to reach for when I was working with Karlach. It's like my Karlach deck. I don't know why, but it is. So that is the Tabletop Tarot. Also, I lied earlier when I said there was no oracles. So let's look at one of those. This is the Empress, the Adventurers Tarot, the Empress deck. I don't know how to use this. Truly, I don't. But it's absolutely freaking beautiful. And they recently did a crowdfunding campaign where you could get like a standalone book, but I didn't know how to back the campaign and get just the book. I didn't need another copy of the deck, and I just didn't know how to do that. So I'm gonna have to figure that out at some point because I kind of want the book for it. But like, wait till you see the artwork. It's just beautiful. Again, it's like D&D stuff, right? But it's so pretty. Look at, so you have the bard, but you also have a bunch of different versions. So you have that bard, you have that bard, you have that ranger, you have that ranger, that monk, and that monk. And it goes like this the whole way through. That fighter, that cleric. So there's different ones, right? There's 2 different rogues, 2 different barbarians, different colorations. You have druids, wizards. Look at all this gold foil. Like, it's so pretty. Then you have paladins, warlocks, sorcerers, and then you have these adversary cards. You have adversary 1, 2, 3, 4. Somebody told me how to use this. I still haven't. It's, again, one of those things that I keep, but I don't know how to use. If I can figure out the guidebook situation, there's an artificer, there's allies, companions, a companion, a familiar, another familiar, a beast, different beasts. So this has got elements that are designed to be used within a role-playing game. We've got different dragons. I don't know, it's just pretty. I got this because it was pretty. And I think I got this at the same time as I got the Eldritch Overload, and I feel like I got a steal. I got it for a bargain. There's giants, monstrosity, there's a wild oracle, there's the dungeon mistress, and the developer, which is so fun. Wild oracle. So fun. I have no idea. I don't know why. It's just, it was pretty, it was sparkly, and I'm a magpie. What can I say? But I do need to get my hands on the book so I can figure out how to use it from a divination perspective, because some of these cards are not needed for the divination aspect, and it's just pretty. Let's be real. I got it because it was pretty. Should it be on the chopping block? Probably, but I'd like to get the book first and see if I can figure out how to work with it first. Okay, this is actually the Critical Role tarot, which is incredible. So the Tabletop tarot has some like Easter eggs that feel connected to Critical Role, but this is actually their branded deck with their logo on it. It's got all this gold foiling on it. I still need to watch campaign 2. That's on my agenda to do, but there's a little guidebook that tells you who everybody is. This was actually worked on by Taliesin Jaffe. There's a foreword by Taliesin Jaffe, and this is Matthew Gilbert. There's some spreads in here, but these are characters and such from Critical Role. It is a linen finish, which is nice and feels sturdy. So the backings look like. But yeah, this is still in order because this is another I got it to collect it sort of deal. Fresh cut grass. Ashton and Fern. And Vex. Liam. I keep reading his name. The Liams. Grog. Bo. It's just great. Laudna. Anyways, I went through this already. Percy. I know all the names. I do this every time. I'm really bad. Keyleth. But it's very Pippish. Now, it is kind of Pippish with a purpose, but it is Pippish. There's great court cards, though. But it is Pippish. And that's fine. So you get characters through the majors, you get characters in the courts, and then you have pips. But this is pretty great. And I'm happy I got it. This is another one I'm happy just to have and to collect, even if I don't actually use it, so mine's still in order. But imagine if I could figure out how to use both of these together. Look at that. But also, when it comes to Oracle, I have the True Side Oracle. And I got to participate in this project just a teeny tiny bit, and so it holds a special place in my heart. But this is by Eric Maley, my favorite thing he's ever created, if I'm being completely honest. I just love this so much. But this is a 54 card Oracle deck. I don't think this got the attention and love it deserves. I think there's a lot of thought put into this, and I don't normally like black and white decks, but this one is really good. And the guidebook is absolutely fabulous and definitely worth taking a look at for sure. For sure. Love. Love. So this is all D&D spells and keywords. So cantrip, charisma, reaction. And the funny thing is, I am the first one to complain if there's no keywords. These are titles. These are titles of like D&D things. But for some reason, they just, because of playing so much Baldur's Gate 3, I feel like I have so many layers of understanding of these things that coming up with how to read it in a reading just feels really easy to me. Concentration, constitution, dash. And the choices of illustrations here, they're very stripped back and simple, but they make so much sense to me. They're very effective little illustrations. Dice. Difficult terrain. And this is a matte laminated cardstock. It's really nice. Disadvantage. Disengage. Ritual cast. Dragons. Oh my gosh. It's so fun. Encumbered. Familiar. Surprise. Survival. True sight. Love that. Investigation. Long rest. Perception. I mean, it's great. It's fabulous. And then the guidebook is so good. I got a chance to submit some spreads, so I'm not going to spoil them, but I will say I created a True Strike spread, which is basically themed after the idea of shooting arrows, like an archer spread. Chaos magic spread. And I did a third one, I think. Was it the death saves? A death save spread. So love that. And then also there's a spread in here by Dawn Michelle, the boss fight spread, which is amazing. And there's a campsite spread by Logan Townsend and stat grind spread by Logan Townsend. And then Eric Maley has the adventuring party spread and a past, present, future in here as well. So super fun. Loved this whole setup so much. So that is the True Sight Oracle. And it's fabulous. In fact, I really should keep this out with my gaming stuff now. Okay. Anyways, that leaves us with 2 last tarot decks. So the first of these is game specific, and it is the World of Warcraft Tarot. This is a Inside Editions licensed fandom deck. I really like this, and I'm definitely in the minority as far as being just such a huge fan of all these soft pastel colors in this. Everybody else I know who loved World of Warcraft is like, that's not World of Warcraft, and they're not wrong, okay? Because World of Warcraft is not pastel like this. This is like an elegant version of the World of Warcraft deck. And actually, I just realized looking at this that I know exactly who this deck is for as a gaming character. This is my Lady Alora's deck. I don't know. It's kind of a little full of itself for World of Warcraft. I don't know how to describe it, but World of Warcraft is not this. This is like fan art, World of Warcraft fan art, which is great. But World of Warcraft itself has very bold gem tone colors. But I just think it's so pretty. Like, I don't mind. Is mine still in order? It totally is. I haven't even shuffled it. We're going to shuffle it after this. But Peggy and I have played World of Warcraft together for years. And so I recognize a lot of these characters, or at least the character style, even if I don't know exactly who they are. I had a really hard time holding on to World of Warcraft lore. Certainly not as hard of a time as I had with the Neopets deck. But this is another one that I got mostly just to collect it, but it's really pretty. It's really pretty. I think it's really well done. Yeah, we're going to shuffle it up here in a second. Okay, let's shuffle it. Let's do a little energy obstacle advice spread and just see what it feels like. It's got spot gloss on the back. So they did some neat production quality things with this. There's gold foiling on the front. Spot gloss. It's just a little extra. It's probably the most extra of all the Inside Editions decks, with the gold on the front, this gold detailing on the front, and then the spot glossing on the back. I mean, yeah. Let's shuffle her up. I think when I first got this, I couldn't shuffle it, probably because my hand injury was still fairly fresh at that time. Oh, I messed that up. Did you see that? That was like, oh my gosh, epic fail. It is a pretty chonky deck. Cardstock's pretty thick. Okay, let's see. Energy is the Magician. Obstacle, the Knight of Cups. Oh my gosh. And our advice card is the Knight of Pentacles. So let's just take a look in the guidebook and see what it says. Okay, so energy of the Magician. Okay, so the Magician is one of great wisdom, not only in the elements of the cosmos, but also in the simple truths of reality. The Magician understands that all are inexorably linked to one another, that factions and ideologies are all facets of the same gemstone we call life. Khadgar embodies this in no small part due to his willingness to forge alliances in the name of the greater good. This card is the embodiment of willpower, discipline, and focus. I feel like that's a chariot thing, but okay. Discipline and focus have resulted in an understanding of the elements and the workings of the world. Consider this an assurance to trust in your own strength. It has been earned, it has been honed, and now is the time to trust in its power. Okay. And then our obstacle is the Knight of Cups. So let's go find the Knight of Cups. This card signifies someone driven by let's read the reverse since it's obstacle. This reading cautions that someone is ruled by their emotions. Rather than being an intuitive guide, this person is a distraction from reality. More broadly, this card can be read as a warning of something that is appealing but can lead to tragedy. Okay. Don't get pulled off course by the wrong stuff. That's what I get from that. And then we have Knight of Pentacles as our advice card, which to me is like, take it slow. Don't go crazy. Stay focused. Okay. You are a dedicated, reliable person. You focus on your duties, you accomplish them on schedule, and you perform with consistency. Yes. Your one fault is your perfectionism. Also, yes. And even that may be tempered with self-awareness. Oh, good. Okay. This card encourages you to stay the course, for you are a model for others. Aww. Oh, this is actually really a nice reading, considering I am in the midst of all of the creative projects at the moment. So that's awesome. That was fun. Yeah, I think this is going to be Lady Alora's deck, which if you want to know who Lady Alora is, you're going to have to watch Dawn and my current run called Dirt and Decorum on her Twitch channel of BG3. It's a roleplay run. I'm playing a really snobby kind of airhead wild magic sorcerer who thinks she's hot shit, and it's super fun. Okay, Last deck in this category is this one, which I just had to get because it's so stinking cute and it represents every 8-bit game I've ever played in my life. This is the Lost Fairy Tarot. It's totally a Stardew Valley type deck. This is by the same creators that did the 8-bit Fantasy Tarot, I believe is what it's called. Look at the little drawer. This is the cutest freaking thing. It's the cutest thing, and it wasn't that expensive. It was on Kickstarter. It's so freaking adorable. Anyways, these are the backs. The edges have been edged, like gilded, in like a pearl color. So it's almost like colorless. It doesn't have a lot of wow factor, but it is really nice. And we're chunky here, but there is a linen finish. It's not like a black core or anything like that, I don't think. I think it's just an art paper that has been, I don't need to hold it up that close because it's 8-bit, so it probably looks better from a distance. But anyways, this is the 8-bit. Oh, see, mine's not, this one's also in order. You can tell I haven't used it much. I thought this would be a really fun deck to pull out when I'm playing Stardew Valley or games like that, just like cozy gaming in general. It's all in order. I need to shuffle it. This is another one that came in when my hand was really bad and I probably couldn't shuffle it, so I probably just put it away. Yeah, I can shuffle it now. But when I first got this, I guarantee you there's no way I could have shuffled it because my hand was hurting. But it's better now, so it's not all the way, but it's way, 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 way better. There. Now we can do a little flipping. Look at the lovers. Oh, so cute. 4 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. It's all these like little fairies. It's so freaking cute. I mean, that's what it's called, Lost Fairy Tarot. Look at this devil. Oh my God. It's so stinking cute. I cannot. I love it. So yeah, if you like, I don't normally like this kind of art style, actually. Like, I'm not like a big sucker for 8-bit graphics or whatever, or 16-bit graphics or whatever it's called. But this just takes me back. It reminds me of old Nintendo games. It reminds me of, like I said, Stardew Valley. Things like that. Such a mood. The Tower card. Ugh, so fun. Look at the little unicorn. The little unicorn with the rainbow. Is it rainbow horn? No, rainbow hair. Rainbow mane. Little bunny. Little bunny and the 6 of Cups with the ears back. Oh, so cute. The Magician. Oh, it's just adorable. It's just a fun thing. So yeah, I do like to have a card game, excuse me, not a card game, a card deck out when I'm playing certain video games. And sometimes I'll pull a card just like what I'm going to work on in a game and stuff. I know it's super silly and like simple, but it's fun to do. Some great little spot gloss graphics here. That's adorable. It's adorable. Anyway, that is the Lost Fairy Tarot. And unless I am mistaken, that is it for my gaming decks.